So this is a delayed Happy New Year from myself to yours because I haven't uploaded in a while. So this is going to be my first upload of 2022 and I'm so excited for all of the things that this year will bring. Hopefully the Omicron variant will not get out of control and we will end up having a better year than we did in 2021. Before I waffle on any further, let's get back to the point of this video, which is basically that Meghan and Harry are in financial trouble and their 2022 is not starting out as spectacularly as I think they both hoped. They're pretty much in financial disarray and they are not in profit. And there is also a massive question mark over their Netflix and Spotify deals, which they really have not been elaborated on. Allegedly, they have officially lost the Spotify deal recently because they was unable to put together the content, or at least there wasn't a big enough appetite from the public to consume their content. And judging on the ratings of their first few uploads, Spotify has realized that they will not be a great financial bargain or investment for themselves, so they have been dropped. Not only that, their Archwell Foundation actually raised less than they spent. So last year, upon the launching of their Archwell Foundation, Meghan and Harry actually raised less than $50,000 and they actually spent more wrapping up legal costs, wrapping up and changing the name, filing for registration, so on and so forth. So let me get into this. Harry and Meghan raised less than $50,000 for their charity and spent more on legal fees to dissolve the original Sussex Royale Foundation, IRS findings reveal. The Sussexes actually spent $55,000 on attorneys wrapping up their UK non-profit that they launched in 2019. Meghan and Harry's charities have been mired in controversy since their launch, revealing family divisions, and were hit with a UK watchdog investigation and criticism over the use of opaque and secretive Delaware corporations. UK Companies House filings show the defunct British charity had more than $380,000 in its accounts in 2020 and spent at least $55,000 on attorneys, including about $35,000 to Harbottle and Lewis and $20,000 to an unidentified law firm. The Sussexes' American charity Archwell was set up in April 2020 but did not open its bank account until January 2021, their lawyers have revealed. Archwell received its first deposit the following month, according to the foundation's filings. Charities are required to file a public form 990 with the IRS each year, which details their finances. Most charities that receive less than $50,000 are only required to file a postcard with some very limited information. This month, Harry and Meghan's charity told the IRS its gross receipts for 2020 were less than $50,000. So when they wrapped up the Sussex Royale brand, they did actually have lingering in their coffers $380,000. This has not been transferred to the US sister organization, which makes me believe that Meghan and Harry have paid someone to make this money disappear simply because they do not want to have to donate or tax this revenue. And we know that Meghan Markle is akin with financial fraud, considering her mother did actually get locked up for financial fraud and therefore could not raise her. So could this simply be another example of Meghan and Harry's lying, deceptive behavior? I find it hard to believe that they only raised $50,000, but judging by all of the other reports that are leaking, i.e. their eternal discontent, which they are eternally discontent anyway, I don't think there's a place on this planet Earth that Meghan and Harry could go to and actually find happiness, because they simply just do not possess the capability to be happy. They are eternally miserable. But judging by the fact that reports have leaked that they are wanting to sell their latest purchase, which is their Montecito mansion, one of their biggest purchases to date as a couple, it seems as though maybe the finances are not adding up the way they intended for them to add up. So Meghan and Harry essentially have this $14 million mansion, which runs to the sweet tune of £11 million in UK currency, that they have a lot of property costs, taxes and upkeep and grounds maintenance expenses that they would have to file and keep up with. They seem to want to sell that mansion. Now, since they purchased that mansion, many media outlets have gone on about the cost and gone on about the way in which it's not very eco-friendly and it is not in line with what they pertain or claim to support, which is the preservation of the globe. It's not an eco-friendly purchase or building, considering they fly around on private jets and they also like to hop in and out of gas-guzzling Hummers over in America. So they're not happy with this purchase and they're looking to sell it. Now, this is not the first move that Meghan and Harry would be making. They was not happy over here in the UK in Frogmore Cottage. They also found themselves to be discontented out in Canada, and they tried to claim that the Canadian media was harassing them, along with claiming that the British media was harassing them more than they would harass any other celebrities. And now they're unhappy in this Montecito mansion. But this theme tune of lack of content and discontent is really something that is rife throughout Meghan and Harry's lives. They're not happy with family members. Their children are probably not good enough. They're not happy with being senior royals. They're not happy with doing charity work. They're not happy with where they live. They're not happy. They're just basically not happy, full stop. Let me get into another article that basically details how miserable Meghan and Harry actually are with their new mansion. So they've only just been residing in it for a total of 18 months to date, and they have reportedly realised that they are not over the moon about it with the sprawling 9-bedroom estate, and are looking to sell. In an exclusive story from the Sunday Mirror, Harry and Meghan have begun making private inquiries about selling the estate. While they are said to like the Santa Barbara area itself, they are not particularly thrilled with their house and its location in the community, even though it sits on almost 7.5 acres of lush grounds and it is surrounded by pine and cypress trees. And that's something that has me thinking, that's something that has made me extremely curious as to why they're so miserable. Because when they done that interview with Oprah and they took her out to view their ridiculous little chicken coop that they built for Archie at the time, and now they have Lilibet, they presented a couple that was extremely happy with the grounds. Meghan gave numerous speeches from that wooden bench, and they also put together a fancy maternity shoot that was based on Notting Hill, the movie. If you haven't seen it, it stars Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant in the grounds of, I imagine, their garden, which is extremely elaborate. It also has a wet room and a sauna room. There's a pool, there's a gymnasium, I believe there's a yoga studio, there's about 9 bathrooms, you name it. And yet again, Meghan and Harry are unhappy. So let me just detail exactly, as they have kindly written out in this article, what they have. So they have 9 bedrooms. They also have 16 bathrooms. They have a swimming pool, a tennis court, a tea house, a private playground. There is also a spa, a dry and wet sauna, a private movie theatre, an arcade, a games room, a wine cellar, and a 5-car garage. I'm really trying to rack my brain as to who would be unhappy with those grounds, unless it's simply just gotten to a point whereby they simply cannot add up the numbers and they can't afford it. That's just one element as to why they wouldn't be unhappy. The second element, which is coming from my personal opinion, would be that all is not going well in Hollywood. Where this mansion is based, they are neighboring the likes of Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, Adele, you name it. They're in celebrity A-lister territory. Now, after Meghan Markle done that spectacularly embarrassing interview with Ellen DeGeneres, where she proceeded to suck on baby bottles and all of the rest of it, she really did lose touch with a lot of the other A-listers, and they started to avoid her. And she has been getting avoided, and she's been skating on thin ice for quite some time. That was evidenced by the fact that she wasn't invited to Barack Obama's birthday bash by Michelle Obama. She wasn't on the guest list. So you can really see that this has been a slippery slope. On top of that, allegedly, they have also struggled to maintain total privacy on their property. The Daily Mail reported in April that the Sheriff's Department had to respond to 9 calls from their estate, including twice for a trespasser and 5 times when their alarm system was triggered. Along with that, maintaining such a large property comes with a high cost, according to a 2020 report. Like other Californians, Harry and Meghan were likely hit with a huge property tax bill. They must also pay for staff, security, and a mortgage payment that could be as high as $24,000 a month. So financially, they're pretty much messed up. And we know that if they have lost the Netflix deal and the Spotify deal, they just simply don't have the money to maintain such an elaborate lifestyle. And let's face it, we know for a fact that they really don't have the popularity, and Meghan Markle has been grinding away, working the media outlets, pushing this bench book like her whole life depends on it, and I don't believe people have been taking it up the way she suspected. You can't just disrespect a nation of people and generally just disrespect your whole family on world center stage and expect to then be able to sell books based upon likability that you do not possess. So there's one more article that I wanted to get into before I go away. Harry and Meghan Markle's silence over their Spotify deal highlights a major concern. This is yet another confirmation that because they're not talking about their Spotify and Netflix deals, it must mean that they may have lost them. Russell Myers has highlighted they have had a bit of a stop-start couple of years since they decided to leave the royal family, but hopefully Spotify and Netflix will be getting their money's worth if they possibly can. They haven't seen too much bang for their buck at the moment. Let's wait and see what possibly happens. Russell also pointed out we have the Platinum Jubilee and Kate and William both turning 40 this year. Kate in just a few days' time will overshadow Meghan and Harry. Meghan and Harry have not really been talking about their Spotify and Netflix contracts, which would lead one to only believe that they could have lost them. So that's where I'm going to end the video, guys. I personally think that a lot of things have gone wrong. They haven't been able to turn it around, and they have had a substantial amount of time now to kind of prove to the media outlets and prove to the public what they're made of and try and change our opinion of them slowly. But unfortunately, sometimes mud just sticks. So with all that being said, guys, I'll be back with another video.